Hello guys, Major Colton here, and today I'm going to be showing you a lightweight that I've been working on. Honestly, I'm quite proud of what I've come along with, simply because through using pretty much using lighter weapons and loadout, I have managed to slap amazingly awesome armor on by lightweight standards. Let me show you what I mean. As for the armor, you have to remember, this is a lightweight, not a medium weight, a lightweight, and I have 1766 KE, 1203 CE, so no CE, so CE machine guns, so already that most of the rifles aren't going to damage me, CE machine guns aren't going to damage me, and some of the short-range CE missiles aren't going to, well, no one really uses those, but some of them this will buff out. And TE-wise, he'll buff out most of the PMGs, and what you don't buff out, I have a TE shield for. And onto the other internals to show you just what I mean, how great this thing is. Not only does it have all that amazing armor, but it also has a speed of 341 with more than a 6,000 energy recovery and almost 1,000 turning performance. All that would be lacking, in my opinion, is the recoil resistance, but if you're good enough at fast builds like this, you can avoid weapons that cause that. And as for the stability, it's about average, because you really can't go that much higher and have what I have, pretty much. And the AP ends up leveling out around 33k, so it's not like you're in the 20ks, but you almost are, but still. Let's get to the frame. First off, for the legs, you're going to want to use the L2LA142 Theodora, and the reason behind me basing this frame around these legs is because they have a lot of CE defense. You can look at these other ones, look at their CE defense right there, like they're in the double digits and low at that. Then you go to the Theodoras and it's like almost 400 CE defense, so it just really just bolsters your armor. But the only thing is it has like no gloating capacity, so only specific lighter frames can run it, so you have to know what you're doing, pretty much. As for the arms, I'm using the ARM W48 Haikyobo, again, to get CE armor. As for the core, I'm using the CA215 Ryujin, and using this one because it has a good amount of KE and CE armor. And for the Kagaribi, for the head, I'm using the Kagaribi Model 1, simply because it has almost 4k AP, and it stacks on 301 TE defense, as well as bringing my stability up way high because of its massive stability computation, and it's got alright camera performance, and really, not really good for hacking, but this is really more or less to add defenses and add stability. Now let's get to the internals. I'm using the FA215 because it has a 16 lock-on size and a 200 lock-on range with pretty much insta-lock, and because I don't really need any missiles, and if I don't need missiles, then I can go straight for this because I'm going to be up close and personal with this kind of a build, ironically, since it's a lightweight, but that's because that's why I have all this armor. And for the generator, I'm using the GED G23 for its, because some people might say they like the Sujumushi, but in my opinion it's not worth it, especially after they nerfed it and took off 10k of its energy capacity, because if you made the switch to this, sure you'd gain about 1,300, actually 1,270 energy output add-on, 1,270 energy add-on, but you'll lose more than half of your energy capacity, so it's really not worth it at all. As for the boosters, I'm using the BA124s. Now some people might call me out on this and say, why aren't you using these? Not only because they're overweight, but they might say I can lighten at the load up, but I had this beforehand, but simply because it pretty much gives me a massive energy recovery. As you can see, these have cost me almost 4,000 energy consumption, while these only cost me 2. With that extra, and they don't really consume that much, and they're pretty close to the same speed. So really, in this case, this is the better booster, simply because with its lower consumption boosting and with its added energy recovery, you'll be moving a lot quicker by sheer number of boosts added, instead of the sheer power of the first few. As for the recon, I'm using the REX A13. That's because I can put out 5 of them, each of them putting out 320 range at 9,000 operational time. As for the two frontal guns, I use Gatling guns. The reason I'm using these little ones is trying to bring it back to my lightweight roots, because the only time I really used the lightweight and was good at it was the 4-answer style lightweights, simply because they were so stinking fast, and I would run dual Motocobras on that shit, and I just missed the Motocobras so mad, and that's what I miss, the K machine guns in all their glory, Motocobras in particular. I know these aren't anything close to them, but they're the closest thing in this game that we got to them, and they're really, it's what, that love for those kind of builds is really what inspired me to make this. So I chose the AMGGA 208 triple spec for power, simply because they do 536 damage with 5 reload time. Some people might say slap one of these on with dual reserve mags or something like that. But sure, that might help, but then it's just not going to work in the long run, because damage is basically the same, and this has already more than double its ammo with basically the same damage, so there's really no point in even using these unless you use this one. And even then, even if you added reserve mags, it's really not going to do you much good because it's got so little ammo. As for the shoulder unit, I threw on a flash rocket. I know this one is better, and you can probably try and lighten your version of this up if you want to change it up and use it, but really, I mean, it's not that much different. I mean, it's better, but this is all I could fit on my version, so I just went with it anyways. Like, I'm good at using this one just as much as this one. All it takes is a little bit, putting the, firing it a little, just a smidgen, a little bit more ahead of your target. It's really the only difference. And can't put any, really, missiles or nothing like that because I'm right on the edge. But if you're dual gatting somebody, already that's going to be really annoying. And now throw in flash rocketing and they can't fight back, they're going to start panicking because their AP is just dropping by sheer ping damage, and then they can't fight you back. And that's just a glorious thing to do to somebody. As for the right bay unit, I chose the Origomoromo Model 1 TE Shield. I know normally I would choose this one, but like I said, for my specific frame, I can't carry it. And really, I mean, this one would only be good if they're using like full power Kurosawas, but and on the 360 side, that is very common. But I can't carry it for what I want to do, so I'm just gonna run the Model 1s. And on the bright side, it'll still buff out them to a good extent, take a few shots if you're not able to dodge them. And if you're able to dodge them, this is really pretty much better for you anyways, because it's got more AP, and if they're using another damage type, then this will help soak up that much extra damage. And as for the left hand, like, I put a laser blade on. Now I'm right-handed, and I used to always just run them on the right side, although personally, I don't know why, but the left hand just seems to, make contact more than the right hand, so I just put it on this one. And I'm using the Ambrosia blades from Armored Core 5, or the AUQ D57. The reason I'm using this is, originally I could carry my Moonlight before I just changed a few things a little bit ago by changing one of the shield, it used to have 2 blades, but I found that, for survivability reasons, just put on a shield. And because the shield weighs that much, I can't use this anymore. But I was using the Moonlights, and if you want to, you could actually run 2 Moonlights on this and just hit for crazy damage if you feel that confident. But if you're a beginner, or you're not a pro at using lightweights like I am in this game, I'm not saying I'm a pro, I'm saying I'm not a pro. Like, if you're not a pro, just like how I'm not a pro. Like, I'm more like a medium tier when it comes to lightweights, since I don't run them that often. I mean, I was great with them in 4-answer, but not as much in this game. But, you could probably put 2 of these on, hit for 30k, but the reason why I'm using this one is because it has 100 less interval, a little bit more blade length, and that 100 less interval will actually help you make more hits, because I know with the Moonlight, they fucked it over this game with the interval increase on it, and I can't tell you guys how many times I had a perfect kill shot swing and then it was still trying to reload the swing for some reason, and then I just couldn't do it. And with this extra 100 off, it swings quick enough that you'll be able to make those hits count, and it still hits for Kurosawa level damage. So imagine it like just having a Kurosawa on a stick, pretty much, and you're just going around beating people with infinite ammo Kurosawa stick shots, pretty much. And that's why I would like to use this one on the build. And if you guys like the build, let me know, and comment if you used it and you wrecked somebody, and what you if you have any concerns that I should address about the build, or any ideas for future builds, or anything really. But if you guys like the video, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.